Good afternoon, everyone. Steve Georgie here from Allendale's Trading Floor. Thursday, June 13th. We did have the grain markets a little lower today. Some follow-through selling from yesterday's negative report on corn. July down about 7.5 or 7.25, with December down about 2.5. So the December was down a little more than that earlier in the session. It was able to find a little strength late in the session. We'll go through those charts here in a minute. Then also in the beans, down to 30.5 today for July. November falling about 13.75 cents. But let's take a look at these charts, kind of see what they look like at this point. July, we did break down below some good support areas. We took out some of the support as well and finished below it. So we may see some further follow-through selling yet for this old crop corn. There has been some reports out there that we could see Argentina. Looks like next week they may go on a 5-day strike, and that may affect their corn exports. But we haven't seemed to mind that or even talk about that much in the markets here as far as any exports or any change of basically our exports. So still the charts are negative. That's the thing we've got to watch. We've taken out, as I mentioned, these support areas. If we do end up closing tomorrow down below the 643.75, this area, that'd be the lowest close that we've seen basically going back to the middle of May. And on a weekly chart, going to look pretty negative here as far as old crop corn. Now, new crop, little different story. Today was the last day of this Goldman roll. And so we saw just that take place. July down 7. With December only down 2.25. We did finish in the middle to upper end of the range as far as December. We do have this wide range that we have been in, and we're probably going to stay in there. As we pull back, you still have guys talking about this acreage report coming up at the end of the month. That's still going to be looked at very closely. A lot of numbers being thrown out there as far as less corn acres, but we're going to follow that pretty close as we get closer to that. Good support if we do continue down here at 525.5, and then the 517 and 512 lows that we have seen before. But not a bad close. If we can see a recovery, can we get back into this 560, 570 area once again ahead of this report? We may end up trying to do that yet. Guys are talking that report at the end of the month possibly friendly. We did have we had Deutsche Bank come out today, as well as Goldman Sachs putting out their projection, their longer-term projection for grains. Corn, Goldman Sachs is saying right around that 475 area, and then in beans near $11. And then we had Deutsche Bank, another fund, still projecting even lower than that, $4.30. So as guys were asking me, well, where are these funds? Are we going to see fund money come back into commodities? Or are we going to really see them come into the grains when they're throwing out projections that's quite a bit lower than where we're currently at? So that's something that we are not seeing this year that we have seen in the past, unless we see some kind of change or reason to see these funds come in and start to buy again. Pollination problems, weather problems, or whatever it will be, but we need to start to build more of a case. These guys are still putting out numbers that are pretty bearish. Let's take a look at beans. A little lower close today. Actually, July down about 30.5, coming up to some good support. This 1502.5, we were not able to take that out. That's last week's lows. And we have resistance up at 1558 that we just made yesterday. But if we are able to take out this $15 level and we do close below that, that may trigger some more selling here as far as old crop beans, and may continue to see a little pressure here as we get into next week. As far as November, we did hold support just like that. July down 13.75 today, but still closing toward the middle of that range. We have that good support right now, 12.85 As long as we do stay above that, we do have a chance back up here at this 13.30 level once again. But once again, guys are going to be talking about this acreage report coming up at the end of this month. You've got a lot of numbers being thrown out there. We may even end up seeing some kind of an increase as far as bean acres as well. We are currently 71% planted. That will be looked at here early next week. Where are we at? How much did we get done this week? There has been quite a bit of moisture once again this week, so planting pace probably slowed down once again. But give us a call if you guys do have any questions. You can reach us here at 800-262-7538 or check us out right on the web at allendale-inc.com. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.